You got me believing that I can seize the day. You got me hooked on a feeling that I can do anything if I give my heart to it.
Hello, Sharks, and welcome to Moments with Shai Will. Today, we have a very special guest, a healthcare administrator and also a comedian at night, Raul Hernandez.
Hi, everyone. Yeah, I do a lot of things, apparently. I just realized.
How's it going?
Oh, amazing.
Okay.
Amazing. Can't thank you enough for having me here.
Yes, thanks for taking the time and being here with us today. So, describe the job requirements of a healthcare administrator.
So a healthcare administrator, basically, you got to make sure whatever clinic, whatever space you're operating in a medical field, that you are making sure everything's running top notch.
Okay.
Make sure everything's running fluid and efficiently. I'm consistently talking to doctors on every single day. I'm talking about multiple doctors.
Yeah.
Making sure that they're coordinating care for a patient. Making sure a patient is getting the correct treatments. Make sure the right prescriptions are in.
That's important.
It's super, super important. It's a delicate process. Some may call me a manager, some may call me an administrator, but the ultimate thing I'm walking away with my job is making sure that a patient is walking away better and healthier than when they came into my facility.
I like that response. So, what attracted you to that field?
I always liked helping people. It's something that's always been my nature. I've been working in healthcare now for more than 15 years.
Wow.
Yeah, so I
Congrats.
know pretty much every aspect of almost any hospital in South Florida. It's a wonderful experience. The healthcare field is a field that has so much science and technology behind it. You're always learning something new. It always keeps you as a student. You're never a master. You're
Right, and that was going to be my next question to you. You know, in the healthcare field, when it comes to advance in medical and technology, how do you balance everything?
Well, the beauty is that technology also alleviates a lot of pressures that it used to take forever for a family, for a patient to make an appointment with one office, right? Now there's so many different aspects of making an appointment. You can do it electronically, you can do it over the phone still if you want to classically, but there's apps literally just for making appointments. Medical records, let's talk about medical records really quick. Medical records used to be a hassle, it used to take a month to get medical records from a hospital.
That's a long time.
It's a long time. Now, there are portals, there are applications online where you can access medical records within the drop of a dime. And immediately, once the reports are sent in by the doctor or specialist, you can access them. There's other great parts of the technology that really help 3D reconstruction of, like, for example, like a skull image or of a body, or like it's not just doing CT scans and X-rays now. MRIs are much more advanced, and just photography and digital graphics are so much more advanced now that it's helping doctors on an exponential level. And it wouldn't be surprising that you see in the near future just patient care accelerating as far as being faster, more efficient, and that the results of that care bring people back at least somewhere close to 100%.
Yes, and the cost of healthcare.
And the cost of healthcare.
Ridiculous.
It is a challenge, definitely, but I'm a person that I try not to look at barriers. I try to look at other solutions, right?
Okay, what would you suggest?
What I would suggest, we have a lot of young viewers here today, so what I would recommend is try to use your community to your assistance, right? There are a lot of care management companies out there that would like to help out patients, that would like to guide people to the right place. Try to use the Affordable Care Act portal as much as you can. It's gonna get better with time. All these things, introduction of things are usually rough and rigid, but with time they become smoother, easier. So again, try to use community outreach resources. There's a lot of free clinics out there.
Very true.
There's a lot of great healthcare, and there's a lot of great doctors and great physicians and just overall medical professionals who they understand, just like all of us. We're all human.
Yes.
And we understand that these prices can be exorbitant, and some of them will take the time to help you out. Also, try to speak one-on-one with each office that you attend. And more often than not, I'm not saying you're always going to get discounted price, but they'll try to help you out.
Exactly, at least that much. So how do you handle complaints from individuals being denied coverage?
again, we're all human, and it can be a difficult day. I have
Because that's like straight to the point. Forget all the sugarness. I want to know, how do you deal with it? Like, what are the other resources? Like you said, going to free clinics.
Yes. One thing is, when any complaint, and this is not just for the healthcare field, it's for everywhere. Listen to the person and give the person the full extent of your time so that they can just explain to the best of their ability what their concerns are, what's hurting them, right? You don't want to cut people short. You want to, it's horrible, right? So you want to always have an open ear and open heart to everyone. With that, you have to also bring in some reality to things, and you have to guide patients like, hey, maybe this is not the best option for you now, but let's look at another avenue. Let's look at another form of treatment that maybe you can pursue. Never try to deny people options. You always want to provide as much options for everyone. When we go to a supermarket, if you see 2 cereal boxes in an aisle and that's it, you're not going back to the supermarket, right? You want to have your full selection of cereals, right? So that's what you should try to do as a person in my position.
Okay.
Offer all the cereals, or in my case, treatments.
Exactly. So basically, you've been in the field for 15 years, and do you see yourself doing anything else in the healthcare field?
I would like to progress in my position, of course. I really do enjoy the position I'm in currently, but I would love to move forward into different, more administrative, more kind of upper tier things, because there are, my view of healthcare is that it should be the most efficient process of all processes that happen in normal daily care, in normal daily life, right? Traffic can be rough, school can be rough, healthcare, because we're dealing literally with the daily living conditions of every human being that walks into our doors. We want to make sure that's efficient and as result-driven as possible. So that's something I would love to be. I would love to move up and kind of like fine-tune things in health organizations.
Yeah, I like that. Shout out to you guys.
Oh, thank you.
Healthcare is a big deal.
It is. It's literally sometimes the biggest of deals.
Yeah, it really is. It's so important, and I could definitely appreciate that. Let's hold that thought. All right, Sharks, we'll be right back.
Learn and earn today at Miami-Dade College. College graduates earn 56% more than high school graduates and $1 million more in lifetime earnings. A degree from MDC is your path to greater earning power and career success. Choose from hundreds of affordable high-tech and in-demand career programs, including cybersecurity, artificial intelligence, business, and nursing. Learn and earn today at MDC and fast-track your career. Enroll now at mdc.edu/purpose.
You got me believing that I can seize the day. You got me hooked on a feeling that I can do anything if I give my heart to it.
Welcome back, Sharks. You're tuning in to Moments with Shai Will. We have been speaking to Raul Hernandez, healthcare administrator and also comedian. So I want to know, when did you realize you were funny, and when did you decide to do stand-up comedy?
I realized I was funny when you have like your office laughing all at once.
Yes.
Your day job. I wanted to always be a comedian since I was the age of 6.
Wow.
My dad would drive me and my brother around. My dad used to work side jobs all the time. He used to take me and my brother all the time to all these side jobs as kind of helpers, right? Not saying anything like child labor. It's just,
it's all good.
He was helping us out, okay? And my dad loved Eddie Murphy, so he would recite Eddie Murphy jokes to us while we're in the car, because back in the day we didn't have cell phones.
They weren't PG-13.
They were. He PG'd them up. All right, like the ice cream joke, like all those jokes. So he used to say those jokes to us all the time in the car, and like all old comedian jokes as well. And we just built up this rapport. And then Comedy Central, the channel, came out, and will start watching. Other kids will watch like music videos or like dance battle
You were
competitions.
watching the comedy
I
shows.
was watching comedy
stand-up.
shows when I was a kid till I was like 1 o'clock in the morning on basic before there was even DirecTV and satellite, before there was even any of these
Oh
subscription
yeah,
services.
throwback.
Oh yeah. So I always wanted to be a comedian. So I always approached my career as like, I have to have a serious job, I have to have something serious. So I put it to the side, right?
Okay.
And then 2020 happened, of course. And 2020 put into scope a lot of things for me. Like, I need to have high love for what I'm doing.
That's
I need
right.
to have really high quality of the things I love doing. And that's where I found an open mic, and I was like, hey, I want to try this out. Did my first show. It was horrible, but I fell in love with the process, right?
See, that's a lesson right there in itself. But go ahead.
Yeah, you're always going to stumble on your first try,
Yes.
almost all the time, right? But I fell in love with the process, and then I started getting better at comedy, but I was realizing Miami at the time, there was only like 3 or 4 comedy shows. So what I did was,
Wow.
yeah, it was really tough. If you were trying to be an up-and-coming comedian, the process used to be you had to travel to New York or Los Angeles, but I didn't believe in that. I wanted Miami to get more focalized and have something. We have just as big a population, as diverse a population as anywhere.
Yes.
So I wanted to bring comedy to Miami. So what I did was I sent out an email to, I promise you, over 250 venues, restaurants, bars, smoking lounges,
Wow.
everything, yes. And finally,
Dedication.
the farthest bar, the last bar before he hit the keys, was the first one to respond to me. But from there, we grew our comedy group and our comedy company, and now we do shows as far down south as Homestead, as far north as West Palm Beach.
Wow, that is amazing. So how do you come up with your material for your stand-up?
So I like to think I'm observational. There's a thing called observational comedy. Jerry Seinfeld made that famous. Basically, I'll be driving around. I'll give you a hint. I did a joke one time. I was driving down Bird Road here in Miami, and there's a company that has a really bad name. I don't know if we should censor it, but like, it has. They had a really quirky name. It's called OK Jewelers, right?
Okay.
And I was like, why would you name your jewelry store OK?
Okay, Jules.
It should be magnificent, bombastic jewelry,
Yes.
right? It's like when you go there, you go, hey, how are the wedding rings?
Okay.
Okay. So that's just a small joke, but I take a lot of things from my life, things that happen in my life, but also the observations I make of
Right.
the culture we live in. Miami is
So
a funny place itself.
It is. So it's definitely the experience that you have in your everyday life that you add to your show.
Oh, for sure.
Yes,
You-
you got to.
You got to. Not only is it easily relatable with your audience, but it also makes you unique.
Okay.
One of the problems that comedians have is that sometimes we get accused of copying other people's material, right? We
Yes.
get accused of, oh, that was not an original idea.
Right, I've heard that
What's
before.
more original than something you experienced that day? That's why comedy is getting so unique now and so personal that it's going to be almost impossible for a comedian nowadays not to relate to an audience.
Right. So how do you deal with hecklers in your crowd?
So I used to be really bad. I'll be honest. I used to get like, oh, you suck, and I'll say horrible things to the heckler, right?
Uh-huh.
But that's not a true testament of a comedian.
Okay.
If you ever want to find out if a comedian is an excellent comedian or not, this is how. If a heckler does pop up in a show, if that comedian, instead of making that, excluding that heckler, brings them into the show, makes
Right.
them part of the show.
Seen that before.
And it makes it a wonderful experience. That is the true testament of a true veteran comedian. I will tell you from brick to brick, almost
Yeah.
any comedian like that, yeah.
That's clever.
Yeah.
And I've seen that happen. And I'm like, this person is so obnoxious. They're so rude. And then they'll bring them on. I've seen it where it was embarrassing
Yeah.
to the heckler. I've seen in different occasions when it was something great. Like you said, you bring bring them a part of the act. So I can definitely understand it. So describe your most memorable moment on stage and how did it make you feel at that very moment?
My most memorable moment on stage was probably the first time I got like a roaring laugh. It is
That is like something that you,
Man.
the feeling.
The best way I can describe it is an athlete winning a championship, you getting a big gig as like an actress or an actor,
or winning an Oscar,
It's called popping. When you pop an audience, when you have them explode in laughter
Yes.
for you, and you have like, it feels like the roof is coming off the place from the laughter. There is no better feeling. It's the feeling that every comedian is chasing on a daily basis.
Wow.
Yep.
I like that. And listen, I am a big fan of comedy. I've always have, still go to shows as much as I can. And, you know, I appreciate you guys because I know this is not an easy task.
It's not easy. It's not easy being in front of a group of an audience and
you
trying
gotta
to win
make
them over.
people laugh.
Yeah, you do. But this is what I take away from it. We are here to take you away from the reality of the tough day you had, the tough situations you have at your home. We're here to create escapism. We're here to make you feel better about yourself.
Right.
Going back to the heckler, that heckler is heckling because maybe they had a tough day. Maybe they're trying to exhale their stuff out, right?
People's experience that day, I understand they lash out sometimes because of what they've gone through in that day, in that moment. So yes,
Exactly.
I agree. But I love you guys, the comedians. Y'all make the world go round too. Because just like music, we need music and we need to laugh.
Yes, I agree.
It's an expression that we need. It's an emotion that we want to feel.
Fun fact, every time you laugh, you burn 5 calories.
Okay, well, I'm laughing for the rest of the day.
I need to laugh more, apparently. So
Definitely, for sure. I'm going to keep laughing all the way to dinner. All right, Sharks, we'll be right back.
You got me believing that I can seize the day. You got me hooked.
Learn and earn today at Miami-Dade College. College graduates earn 56% more than high school graduates and $1 million more in lifetime earnings. A degree from MDC is your path to greater earning power and career success. Choose from hundreds of affordable high-tech and in-demand career programs, including cybersecurity, artificial intelligence, business, and nursing. Learn and earn today at MDC and fast-track your career. Enroll now at mdc.edu/purpose.
You got me believing that I can seize the day. You got me hooked on a feeling that I can do anything if I give my heart to it.
Sharks, we're glad you're still here with us. This is Moments with Shai Will. So now, let's have a little fun. It's time for self-reflection, my favorite part of the show. So, of course, which person has made the biggest impact on your career and how so?
on my career, man, honestly, and this is a cliche answer as it gets, but my parents.
Okay.
I learned very strong work ethic from both my father and my mother. They both worked 2 jobs at one point in their lives. But one thing that they both show me is how you have to celebrate the work that you've done.
I definitely agree with you with that because I feel the same way. And you should celebrate every moment in your life, even if you're going to celebrate it alone, you know, and even if it's the small winnings, you celebrate it. So you just said something that just, you know, went through my body right now because I feel exactly the same way. I like that.
To give you a very small example, I had a real big show, very successful, and it was awesome. Packed crowd, great performances by all the comedians and everything, right? I walked away and I learned from this. I didn't walk away with the right mentality, right? I just walked away thinking about the next show, thinking about the next things I need to do, or things I need to tweak. And I didn't take that one month. I recommend this to everybody. Take at least 2 or 3 hours after you've had a successful day and celebrate it. Like, feel proud about yourself a little bit. Feel a little like, hey, you got this done. Not many people could have got this done today. And it helps solidify the success in your mind, and it gives you a lot more confidence moving forward.
That's right. And we shouldn't be waiting for people's approval either. Because a lot of times we're artists, we're performers, and sometimes that's what we want. And you have to know you're doing your best. Do you ever when you record your shows, do you go back, do you listen to your shows as well?
Unfortunately, I do.
No, I was going to say that's a great thing because I do the same, just to see where I need to make the corrections.
Yeah. The hardest, and many people will encounter this if you ever want to do a career in artistry, one of the hardest things to do is to listen to yourself. Is one of the hardest things I had to do. I remember taking a recorder up on me and being like, oh, I sound like this? God, Jesus.
I used to could not hear my voice. The feedback was like,
It was so rough. But what it does help with you, especially as a comedian or a person that's facing a camera or a person that's facing an audience, helps you be more presentable. It helps you show you how to pose, how to manipulate your face.
Very true.
A lot of communication is not through your mouth. It's not through your voice.
So what's the proudest moments outside of your career?
Oh, proudest moments outside my career. Does getting my college degree count?
No, yes.
Yes? Okay.
Listen, I'm in school, but it's hard.
Yeah.
Being an adult student,
It's tough.
it is very rough.
Having a full-time job and then having to go to a class.
And then to be able to accomplish that, I believe it's a great thing. To me, in the beginning, I didn't see it being a big deal, but now that I'm wearing those shoes, I see it, I feel it.
Yeah. I'm an honorary shark. I have my degree in biology, but that was a really big moment for me because it's something that my parents always wanted for me. As immigrants, you always want your kids to have a proper education. So me giving them that reward of kind of, hey, your son is smart, at least by the standards of his college.
He's doing it. He's doing it, for sure. So if you can describe yourself in 3 words, what 3 words would it be?
Relentless, respectful, and reliant. Those are 3 words, and they're all R's.
I picked up on that. Relentless. Why so?
So one of my, and this is truly me admitting something, one of my biggest faults is I have a hard time saying no to anything. I try to do everything to the best of my ability and do it all the time, right? I try to, because sometimes those opportunities come out of nowhere, right?
Right.
And you have to be willing to almost jump on a dime to take those opportunities. I'm going to New York next month to do a show in front of 500 people.
Congratulations.
It's going to be a big thing for me, right?
Okay.
But that was because I was agile and I was steadfast and like, I need to take these opportunities when I can get them, because there might be a day that you're looking at your phone, you're looking at your email, hoping for it to update, and all of a sudden, oh, here's a gig, here's a new thing coming up. And sometimes it doesn't happen. Sometimes you're waiting for a long time. So that's why be ferocious, be not aggressive. I mean, just be like hungry all the time. Keep that hunger. It's one of the hardest
Always wanting a little more.
Exactly.
That's true what you say. You have to take that moment and you got to grab it. When it's handed to you, you go ahead and take it, especially for showbiz.
Yes. Now, within reason is very important. We gotta live as human beings. We gotta have some type of work-life balance. So, learn to say yes a little selectively. That's the only thing I will say.
Yeah. So you're enjoying every bit of it, of course.
Yes, I enjoy every moment, every laugh, every face I see. I live a pretty awesome life right now.
Yeah, and so how are you able to balance both?
Man, schedule. If you ever look at your phone and wonder, hey, why is the calendar there? It's for me. I set my calendar. I have alarms going off all the time. And I'm also recounting things. I have multiple calendars. Not only do I have a digital calendar, I have a calendar in my job. I have a calendar in my house, literally right next to my bed that I look at all the time.
Oh my goodness. It has been such a pleasure having you here. Moments with Shai Will. I'm looking forward to seeing all the great things you have coming up.
Oh, yes.
And definitely going to come to a show and check you out,
Thank you for having me on. I appreciate it so much.
Thank you. All right, Sharks. It was such a pleasure having Raul Hernandez on the show today. And thanks for tuning in to Moments with Shai Will.